What if I told you that ancient Roman religion was not about personal faith but an ongoing public contract, a daily ritual to secure the empire's fate? Imagine a world where gods watch every action, where rites and sacrifices are not just spiritual acts but a crucial pillar of the state's survival. This was the reality for millions of Romans living under the vast sky of empire, blending duty, power, and a profound belief in the reciprocal bond between mortals and the divine. Ancient Roman religion began as a communal obligation rather than a private conviction. Each temple, procession, and vow was a strand woven into the fabric of the empire itself. Romans believed that maintaining favor with countless gods ensured harmony on earth and heaven alike. Neglect could mean disaster not just for the individual but for the entire state. In this socio-religious dance, worship was less an expression of devotion and more a careful negotiation to uphold cosmic order. Yet beneath the grand public rituals dedicated to gods like Jupiter and Mars, hidden worlds of spirituality thrived. Mystery cults, secretive, mystical groups, offered intimacy and emotional promise beyond the visible state-sponsored worship. These cults, inherited from Greek and Eastern traditions, invited initiates into secret rites symbolizing death and rebirth, an inner transformation promising renewal beyond mortal life. These cults were a diverse mosaic. The Isis cult, imported from Egypt but Romanized, portrayed her as a compassionate mother whose mysteries led followers through purification and rebirth. Soldiers found strength and brotherhood in the Mithras cult, whose hidden temples evoked primal cosmic battles sustaining the universe itself. Meanwhile, the ecstatic cults of Dionysus, Cybele, and others fused celebration with ritual, offering followers a glimpse of eternal harmony in a turbulent world. Participation was voluntary and crossed social lines, from slaves to senators. Initiates, often undergoing trials like fasting or symbolic death, experienced profound secret teachings under flickering torchlight in underground sanctuaries. Theirs was a faith not of public spectacle, but of personal encounter and hope amid uncertainty. Despite their secrecy, mystery cults rarely threatened the Roman state. The Senate suppressed disruptive rites, as with the infamous Bacchanalia, but largely accommodated these religions, recognizing their role in the empire's diverse spiritual landscape. Over time, temples to Isis stood alongside the grand shrines of Jupiter, and Mithria dotted the far-flung frontiers, embodying the empire's cultural integration. As the Roman Empire blossomed, it became a sprawling marketplace of faiths. Christianity, which would later recast the religious map, began as a quiet, gradual presence among many competing religions. Rather than organized missionary conquest, early Christians spread through networks of merchants and migrants, flourishing alongside Judaism and a host of local beliefs. In the bustling cities, faith was woven into everyday life, shaping identity and community as much as belief. The rise of Christianity did not erase pagan or Jewish traditions overnight, but was part of a complex coexistence marked by rivalry and cultural negotiation. Early Christian communities gained adherents not by force, but by promising belonging, charity, and hope in a fractured world. Religion in the Roman Empire was inseparable from social order and governance. There was no sharp division between the sacred and the secular. Ritual acts were political acts. Public worship reinforced civic identity and imperial authority. The emperor's divine genius was honored as the empire's unifying cosmic principle, bridging mortals and gods without demanding outright godhood. At home, private worship flourished through household shrines to Lares and Penates, guardians of family and hearth. Soldiers prayed for Mars or Mithras, travelers carried protective amulets. Roman piety was a tapestry of public solemnity and personal devotion, intertwined in daily rhythms. Unlike later religions shaped by sacred scriptures and moral codes, Roman religion was pragmatic and ritualistic. It demanded precise, performed actions over faith or doctrine. Prayer was an act of negotiation, a transaction of honor and vow between humans and gods. Sacrifices, whether modest offerings or grand animals, followed strict ceremonial forms ensuring divine favor. Greek philosophical and poetic influences enriched Roman religious imagination, but philosophical doubts coexisted with ritual observance. The Romans often embodied what scholars call a brain balkanization, holding divergent views of the gods intellectually but performing rituals faithfully. Morality operated separately from religion. Gods rewarded honor and ritual correctness, not virtue or ethical purity. There was no promise of heaven or punishment. Religion was a practical alliance securing well-being here and now. Central to Roman religion was the belief that divine favor sustained the state itself. Jupiter Optimus Maximus was both god and symbol of Rome's political and cosmic order. His temple atop Capitoline Hill was the empire's spiritual heart. Proper rites maintained the sacred contract linking imperial destiny to the will of the gods. The imperial cult exalted emperors as living symbols binding gods and mortals. Through sacrifices, festivals, and statues, emperors embodied unity and divine protection, sanctifying allegiance to Rome's vast order without demanding full deification. This cosmic relationship fused power with piety in the empire's ideology. Within this grand public religion remained the intimate practices of ordinary Romans. Daily offerings to household spirits, whispered prayers for protection, and personal devotions illustrated a faith both communal and deeply personal. Roman religion was not a private creed, but a shared performance vital to empire and soul. In the end, the religion of ancient Rome was a mirror to the empire's complexities, diverse, pragmatic, and bound by duty. It united countless gods and mortal lives through ceremony rather than confession, collective action rather than personal belief. From the glittering temples to hidden cult sanctuaries, every offering affirmed a timeless truth. Harmony between gods and mortals was the foundation and fate of Rome. Enjoyed the video? Give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. See you in the next one.